The light usually comes on, doesn't it? That's it. Okay. Oh, cool. I just want to make sure. When that should ever happen, that would be great. Hey, how you doing? Good. Man, it's great to see everybody's face again. We have faces, we have noses, we have mouths. Oh my gosh, how great is that? I gotta admit, it's just great to see everybody. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
They are. Yeah. Yeah. Is that good? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. We went to Calvary. Yeah. Yeah. Well, good to see you again. What, 30 years ago? Probably.
See how time flies when you're having fun, yeah?
Oh, man. Yeah, that's cool. That's good to see you.
That's great. Yeah. Doesn't look like we have anybody yet. Now, what are you
Well,
gonna do?
that was what, a month ago?
That's one of my driving routes right at the top on my bicycle. I love that route.
No, it's a waste of time.
There's
nobody
Go past
there.
that big,
I agree.
big ranch farm.
I agree.
It
Okay.
reminds me of Dallas.
Yeah.
It's back road back to the house back there.
Yeah.
Every time I pass that, I never see it. Next time.
That's funny.
All right. So I have 7 o'clock. Okay. All right. So should I just go ahead and, okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Welcome, everybody. Has everyone read the minutes of the May 26th meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I approve.
Okay.
I will second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Public concerns and or comments? You're on.
As a representative of the Conestoga Valley Youth Soccer Club. I'm one of the board members there, and the president's asked me to come and just share some of the concerns for fields that our club has had, with really no request other than to just make everybody aware, the township aware as well. With the fields being under construction at the high school, our rec club and travel team clubs have lost quite a few fields as a result. So we have been scouring the Conestoga Valley and East Lampeter area for soccer fields, which has been quite a daunting feat. We're renting some fields from Greenfield Corporate Center currently. We've been using Veritas's fields and pretty much just trying to find any open space that we can find. So I had suggested at one of our board meetings that maybe just coming here and sharing with the township and sharing with the township manager, Mr. Hutchison, that we are very actively looking for any fields. As residents of the township, if you have any thoughts or ideas of where we could work or negotiate to use some flat open space, we would be very open to talking about that, and or if the township had any park space that they'd be willing to talk to us about to turn into a soccer field, we would certainly be willing to further that discussion. So I didn't want to come here for any other reason, just to give you an update of kind of some of the challenges that we're facing as a club, and we want to keep soccer going. This is only a prop. I'm not going to pass it around or anything, but hopefully remember me as the guy that brought the soccer ball. But that's some of the needs that we have. When I spoke with Mr. Hutchison, he did talk to me about, I guess, kind of a conglomeration of organizations or townships that are getting together to talk about some needs that maybe us and other clubs may have in our township school district, which is really cool. So we just want to be part of that discussion, or any discussions on this level, anything we can do to further the soccer club along and have space. So we're keeping our head above water right now with fields, but we're trying to look ahead to the next season to make sure that we have all that covered. So
Looking for practice space or game space, or both?
I would say both. Mostly practice space, because we can have our games at other fields and other club fields that are already established. So for example, a lot of our games this year were away games because of the lack of fields. I helped coach the U19 boys and girls, and we practiced on the middle school field because that's all that was available to us. We are concerned with the school district building these new fields. They're going to be building turf fields. I think, and I don't want to speak, but I think that they will have one field that is grass, which is what we use. I don't know that they're going to let us use the turf fields or not. And the grass field, the high school coach has typically been very protective of that field. So we just don't know exactly how far we'll be able to continue with the school. So we're just trying to branch out and look at other places, but yet keep it within the township.
The field at Leola Elementary?
We are. Yeah, that's our equipment. We're using some fields. We got some fields behind Smoketown as well. And our club has, U6, U8, U10, U12. Those are the biggest numbers. Then we have U15, U19 teams as well.
Roughly what size? So what a football field is roughly the size of a soccer field, correct? Or are you looking for something smaller?
No, like
or kind of whatever.
The U19s, we do have a regular size field, which is going to be almost equivalent to like a football size.
Okay.
The littler kids, they're a little smaller, so they can get away with a little bit more. Our boys they can kick the ball almost the full length. They did enough for them. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah, just appreciate you hearing me out.
Thank you. And I'm glad you brought that to our attention, because as you said, and Mr. Hutchison told you, we're in the process, we're in the throes of trying to, find out what the resources are that are needed. So it's really good to know. It's really good to know.
We had one option is looking at the softball field that's at Hobson at Community Park, and converting that into an all-purpose field, which it already is flat. So there's not going to be a lot of, it's really just taking out the infield and the backstops of the baseball field and seeding it. I think really, Charlie, would you, and lining it, I guess would be lining it, and then if you would need benches in the middle. I don't know. I know how the high school does it on the middle, and so the spectators are on the outside and the teams are on the inside. But I don't know if we could get 2 fields out of that. I don't know what the dimensions.
Yeah, I'd see the dimensions.
To maybe measure up sometime to see if we would convert that.
Well, with the park plan, that may come right into play. They may be looking at that already. I mean, so wait till you get the person that's going to run the show, I guess you want to say, or lead the way. They may say, well, that's really not a good spot. Here's another good spot to do it. So, I mean, I can measure it out, but is it going to be there or is it going to be somewhere else?
I will say for our club, we are very accustomed to bringing most of the equipment. I mean, the goals are the one thing that's difficult, but as far as benches, we bring that typically to all the games. It's just like the pull-up kind of stuff. So the goal is really to be stationary part of them. Not permanent, but that would be the most permanent feature that we would require. Obviously, if there was ever any hope of prospect of working something out, the club would pay for all that kind of stuff. We would probably be pretty much looking for the space at the moment.
Charlie, do you have are there any places that come to mind that you think of, any places other than, as Diane mentioned, softball field, any place else that you think could be made appropriate or is appropriate? Any other facilities?
I was thinking outside of the township property. Have you had any conversation with like Lancaster Mennonite? I guess they're all turf though.
Yep. We've talked to them.
Locust Grove across the street here. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know what's out back.
As well.
Okay.
Our understanding is Clark Mechanical, they have a beautiful soccer field right here that they don't appear to be using, but Clark Mechanical has indicated they want to build on that site. So
Okay.
it's probably not a long.
Okay, I was just thinking out, but yeah. Our property, we have an area at Flory Park where the two lighted baseball fields are. It's not directly flat, but my concern is there's probably only 4 inches of topsoil on top of it and it's rock underneath. So I can look.
Because I'd like to help this gentleman out if we could, if there's
Yeah.
anything that would be appropriate. And, I
Yeah,
think,
because I'm just thinking, I'm wondering even at Lafayette for like your U6s, I mean, like your little kids, I don't, that you might be able to get like two or three.
That's all on a hill though. It's not flat. Outside the baseball fence? Yeah, because all that sheets back towards the walking trail. Yeah, I mean, it's not dramatic, but you're more than welcome to look at it, but
I appreciate all the brainstorming. That I really want to just kind of come and lay a foundation. But you see what we're wrestling with. We're constantly talking at every board meeting about where can we go, where can we go, where can we go. So I do appreciate all of the thoughts and insight. Yeah, if you come up with anything, please reach out.
A Good Shepherd too, they just put, that would have been a perfect field there. But they just put a meadow or something.
Over on Greenfield Road, the church,
Yeah,
Good Shepherd lives there.
So we did look at that field as well. Because that would have been a nice spot. But they just put a prayer wall.
Is that what it was? I could see there was some, like a path that, because my daughters play softball there.
Yeah, we looked at that.
And nothing in Greenfield.
We did use Greenfield, yes, right off of
Colonial Village.
Colonial Village Road. If you saw a red porta potty there, that was our porta potty.
Out near Willow.
Yes. Just on.
You have do you have contact information on the sign-in sheet? Okay. So if something clicks, I can get a hold of you or we can
I'll
look
put
at,
my
look at.
phone number on it too.
Okay.
Ralph knows how to get a hold of me.
Okay.
What about
Stop.
by the pool, up on the.
there used to be a baseball
Yeah,
field
there
back
used to be a
there.
Baseball field back there
Yeah.
that's not being used, but that's all flat back through there too. Again, even if it's just for your littler kids, but there's a lot of space back there. Little basketball court that's like a pickleball court or something now. There's more space back there that meets the eye, and people don't go back there because there's nothing really there. But there might be, that might be worth taking a look at.
All right, thank you. I'll check it.
I just appreciate
ask Mike.
having that on our radar.
Ask Mike
Like that.
Morris.
Oh, that-
Yeah, I just appreciate having that on our radar if there's a demand for those, because one of the things we, you know, when we're talking and we don't know that there's, you know, a need for facilities like that. we Don't, you know, it doesn't come to our, doesn't come up that often, so it's good to know, thank you.
That was the reason for coming here today, just so people are aware there is a need out there. And if we could have gone back to the school, they'd only service our needs. So if we could have gone back there post-construction, we would have been fine, but things are changing there, so. Kind of stuff. Thank you.
Good to see you, Ray.
Thanks.
Okay. No other change of comments, reports, recreation. Chris is not here. We know if anything's happening.
I feel no news is good news. Baseball season is still going. It's probably getting close to playoffs. Then you're probably looking towards the end of August for fall ball. But I haven't heard any reports, any complaints, any concerns.
The three balance beams at Community Park.
The three, balance beams.
Balance beams near the creek.
Okay,
There's the 3 4x4. The people walk to keep their balance.
Yep.
The largest one, scream out, well, body middle.
Yep.
It started to go, it started to move. So it's starting to get hurt.
you said it's down at the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom is walking balance. It's the highest one.
So it's real near the chain climbing, yeah.
Holy climb.
Yeah. Chain climbing, whatever it is, yeah. Oh,
I'll have them look at it tomorrow.
all right, grounds, buildings and trails.
Okay, all the trees that we treat for the spotted lantern flies have been completed. Troy is telling me with the treating we did last year, he's not seen an overabundance this year like we did last year. So I don't know if they're moving on or the treatment's helping. We did have a volunteer group. They came in, I think it was about a week ago, and treated all the wooden bollards at Lafayette Park with water seal. So that was a big help to them. Troy's trying to get he has contact information. They haven't gotten back to him. Thought it'd be nice maybe for a thank you card. Maybe you can sign it at your next meeting to get to the volunteer group to thank him for that. So he's waiting for information on it. Routine maintenance throughout the park is just ongoing. The Conestoga cleanup was canceled. We got a lot of rain the day before. The week prior, the water was probably about 2 foot deep. I went down in the middle of the afternoon during the rain, trudged back through, and the water was probably about 6 foot deep and running. So I contacted the group and I told them, I think we're just going to shut our site down. And then emails started flying from everybody else saying, yeah, we're too flooded out. So they're trying to look at a later date, not sure when. I think they were thinking like out in August, but we haven't had a follow-up meeting to figure that out yet.
All right.
Last thing I had was, I gave everybody a calendar. And that is a list of all the rentals that we have at this point from yesterday. for every month out until, I think, October. So you can see everything's pretty well booked out through. There are a few openings, but I think they received 2 phone calls today too, looking for openings.
In light of the discussion we just had, I thought of that, after our meeting last time, I was wondering, is there enough demand? Is there demand for more pavilions? I mean, is that something that we should consider anywhere? I mean, is the demand so high? Are we turning a lot of people away? I know Diane here addressed that question.
This should help you. In total, we have 4 pavilions. So if you look through June and July, there's still a lot of pavilions open on weekends. There's a lot. I mean, there's still, July 4th still has 2 pavilions open. So if you look down through,
Yeah,
it's not packed solid yet.
but there's a lot, yeah. I'm surprised there's not more on July 4th, which is, yeah, but who knows, you might get calls yet. Yeah. Yeah, so we're not so overwhelmed that it's like, okay.
Yeah, we're not telling people to go to Manheim Township or something
Yeah.
like that. I mean, if they wanted a certain date for a family reunion and all our pavilions are booked, we're telling them that. But
Yeah.
we're telling them also that we have open dates. But
Okay.
at this point, we're not just treading water. We have still some openings.
I know it's early yet, but has there been any issues with cleanups or that stuff?
Yeah. Troy had one the other day. Trash. Maybe the trash cans were real full and someone was blowing around and someone used confetti and something else the other day, and it probably took 2 hours to clean it up. So we're going to talk about that in-house. It was drug into the restrooms. It was everywhere. And he said pink and blue. So I'm guessing somebody had a gender reveal or something there. We're trying to brainstorm to see how you police it. I just don't know how you do it. I mean, we can write it in an ordinance, and again, like we talked last year, they could say it was clean when I left. Must have been somebody that came in after I rented the place. Can we prove it? Not unless we have cameras installed. So we got to start looking at expense and yeah. I told Troy to give us some thought, and him and I will get together again next week. But it'll be a discussion in-house how we do it. Maybe the board knows how to handle something like that. I'm out of ideas.
The only thing you can do is let them look at their Facebook pages, and I mean, they probably incriminate themselves out there once too, you know that. They're probably graphic pictures of people throwing, because we know how those things are, So. I'm
Any,
just kidding, so.
talk to any of your counterparts, other.
Troy
townships and
Troy
ask
is actually reaching out. This gentleman's from Manor Township. He's actually reaching out to their park superintendent. He knows,
county park. What if you completed some-
Troy's got to contact the county park, so he's contacting them this week just to see how they handle this kind of
Right.
stuff. Yep. So I said, why don't you reach out to them, see how they handle it? We can get some thought in-house and maybe come up with a game plan.
Knoxville, which is a big pavilion. Knoxville.
Yeah, they have a lot of problems. They sure do.
Well, they have color runs out there too, so I don't know if they have any issues with that. So,
How often do you run into this type of issue?
well, this was the first major issue that I heard about. He came into my office and talked to me about it. I mean, it could be every weekend. I know last year was pretty bad. It was at least, so if a guy comes in we rent it out on Saturday and they do that, we got a guy that comes in on Sunday to empty trash cans and make sure the pavilions are clean and this and that. It usually takes about 2 hours to get to all the parks. Well, if it's going to take him 2 hours to clean community, he's going to be in for another 2 hours to make sure all the other parks, they come in at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Well, if people start rolling in at 8, he's going to be trying to clean up and they're going to be wanting to set up. So I don't want to have 2 guys come in, you know, it's overtime. And so there's a lot to think about. Just,
Yeah, I know. I mean, I see the guys there on the weekend. Okay. All right. Anything else, Charlie?
no, that covers me. Sorry about that. No,
No.
I was the HVAC guy from here.
Doug, do you have anything else?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right, old business. We just have the regional recreation program.
So I made copy, I just yesterday got the email from our contact at DCNR who provided the peer grant to us. And I had thought that the way it would work is that they would just assign us a peer. Well, they gave us 2 options basically, and I made copies of the resumes that were submitted to us for you. They want, you know, the school district, Upper Laycock and East Lampeter to figure out how to choose between the 2 and then make a choice. And then we'll go forward with the peer work. So like I said, we just got it. I forwarded those on to Mike Morris at Upper Laycock and Phyllis Fletcher at CV School District. So waiting to hear back from them. The only other item, which I guess is sort of old business I was going to mention, is that we did share your list of priorities with board members, so they're aware of that, and we'll definitely keep that in mind as we start to get into budget season.
And if they have any questions, I'm sure we will be happy to.
Sure.
Um, oh, this- It sounds like we would almost need to do something tonight to get it by next month.
Well, I certainly wanted to share the information with you. I'm not really asking for you to do anything or to take any action. We're going to have to figure it out. Our goal, of course, is to get this thing moving.
Yeah.
And that's been our goal for a couple of years now, I think.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to be aware of the information, and certainly if you have any thoughts you want to share with me, that's fine. But we're going to have, between the 3 entities, we're going to have to figure out some quick process. Maybe we'll do a Zoom call with each of them, and then we'll decide. And I don't know that there's a wrong decision here. I think they both appear to be very well qualified. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's a bad choice to be made, but
Do they just allocate like a voucher per month that you spent with us, or how?
there's the value of the process is $11,000. The state is 10,000. We have to contribute 1. So yeah, I think the state has some understanding of what they pay these people in their consultant role. So however many hours that amounts to is the length of the project, and whether that's done in a month or 3 or 6, I'm not sure.
And to your point, I mean, they both look incredibly qualified, so it just seems to me it's a question of if you can get a Zoom call or something like that and assess the personal chemistry, and think that, you know, because as you say, people both know what they're doing.
Well, and I guess too, right, Reading City. Is that what it is?
Yes, the one is,
I would look at the demographics, you know, of both places and see maybe if one has an advantage in terms of dealing with this, you know, the size and the budgets and stuff that. Obviously, the city of Reading's gonna have a much bigger budget than the township or Upper Lake Cotton. Dealing with, so that might tip one way or another. That,
Sure.
I don't want somebody giving ideas of things that aren't going to be feasible for us. You know, it's good
Sure.
to have ideas, but if you can't make them happen, then that's all they are, is an idea.
Yeah, the one works for a regional entity, the other one just for the one township, and that,
That's another advantage.
Jason Lang was an intelligence analyst. Army intelligence. Cool.
Well, and you have to juggle multiple entities to come to some agreement, and make things happen. as opposed to just have to-
I'll work to keep you all informed about what's happening so that we can,
Yeah, it's
again, keep the process moving, hopefully.
to me, you know, they're both qualified, and so is the question of who do you think would be the best fit for us? You know, in personality, because I think that's it's just gonna make it work.
Right, and if you find out too, how many hours or how long, because of, you wouldn't want somebody, maybe the clock started ticking in the middle of the summer when there's not a lot of people around and things are, you know, I don't know, they need to get their feet wet for a little bit. That's a good time to do it, or if it's better to wait until the fall.
You know,
More activity and more availability and people to get together. Buys, I don't like the.
yeah, I think that'll largely depend upon, the representatives from the three groups and their availability. And summertime can be tough.
Wow, well, we'll make, all I can say is we'll make it progress.
It's another step in the
So
process.
We're
so.
approved with the grant, and then.
Oh, yeah.
it's a Question of picking one of these and moving forward. Well, that's good. Okay. All right. Any other old business? Okay. New business. Okay. Public comment. Don't have anything else there. Okay. Anything else anybody would like to bring up? Okay. Do you hear a motion to adjourn? Okay, all in favor? All right, thank you. We are adjourned. Thank you. Boy, we are so formal. We are. All right.